Okay, so we are in domain 5. It's all about habitats. A habitat is a place where not just animals, what else? Humans too, and bugs. We're forgetting one thing. What did you take home earlier this week? Plants have habitats. Today we are learning about life in a pond. Now, remember, a pond is different from a lake or a river. A pond is small, a lake is big or huge, yeah. A pond is shallow. Shallow means not deep. Say shallow means not deep. Yeah, a pond is shallow, like you could walk in it, you said yesterday. A lake is deep.
Why you can sit
Yep. Now, a pond does not have moving water. A river has moving water. So a pond is a small body of water. It's not very deep, it's shallow, and the water sits still. It's perfect for lots of animals, insects, and plants. Let's read about life in a pond. We just discussed this. What are ponds? They're shallow and small, and they don't have moving. Yeah. Lots of grasslands and meadows around ponds, but sometimes you can even find ponds in the forest. Look at this one. This pond is in the forest. Ponds are found in many parts of the world.
That looks like it's starting.
In forests, on farms, even in cities. Now, let's see if you remember. Ponds are smaller than
River.
and lakes. That's right. They're not as, a
A
river has moving water, you're right. And a lake is big and deep. Many kinds of fish live in a pond. Now, fish breathe
from the
through those things behind their face. Do you remember what they're called? Yes, nice remembering. That's exercising that brain. They're called gills. Say that word, gills. Fish breathe using gills. Say that. Now the gills get the oxygen from the water and allow the fish to live underwater. Yeah,
jump out and come back down.
they do that sometimes. What else swims in the water? Ducks swim in the water. Do you remember what they eat? Insects. And they also dive underwater to look for small fish. Ollie, you're right. They dive underwater for food and they eat bugs off the top of the water.
Good.
Now, at a park here in Great Falls, we can feed the ducks bread, but we usually don't do that in the wild. We leave wild animals alone because wild animals need to stay wild. All right, let me see if you can guess who's been here. This animal lives in the pond and out of the pond. He is green and slimy and hops. Who's been here? Frogs kick and swim in the pond. Now, frogs also eat insects. Now, do you know where they lay their eggs? In the pond or outside of the pond? Actually lay them in the pond. Like by a rock or something like that, so they're safe. Yeah, they start out as tadpoles and then they grow arms and legs. Then they turn into full-grown frogs. Now, we talked about the animals that live by a pond. What else are we talking about? Well, I'm talking about something different than animals. What else lives by a pond? We did animals. We're all done with animals. What else lives by a pond? Well, we're all done with animals, so that leaves the things that are green and grow at the bottom of the pond. Plants, yes, Stephen. Plants like lily pads, yes. Lily pads grow on top.
Sit on them.
Now, what grows down below the surface? The stem. It keeps the lilies in place. And they have what part is this called of the plant? The flower. They have white flowers. Now, here's the deal. Here's the real life. Some of you were talking about frogs sitting on them. Actually, frogs or not much of anything can sit on lily pads. They will sink. They're not very sturdy for animals to sit on them. But we know from reading Thumbelina that butterflies and fish and even frogs sometimes like to nibble and eat parts of the lily pads.
Butterflies can go on middle of the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh, okay. So we talked about lily pads. Do you remember those other plants that kind of looked like corn dogs on a stick?
bushes.
They are called cattails. Cattails grow in ponds. Now, a cattail is a plant with a brown fuzzy tip that looks like a cattail. And what happened? What's inside the brown part? Yeah, a bunch of white, puffy, almost cotton, kind of like hair. Yeah. But would you eat it? No. It looks like cotton candy, but we would not eat it. Now, sometimes we can pick cottontails and have them explode in our hands. But when they don't pick and they get too ripe or ready, they explode on their own. It's kind of cool when you see a cattail in a cattail stand that has exploded on its own. It just goes poof. We did watch a video. We probably won't watch it today. Yeah. Now, the pond is shallow, right? What does shallow mean?
It's not funny.
Not deep. What does shallow mean?
Not deep.
So if the water is not deep, that means the sun can
Go down.
shine to the bottom. So if the sun can hit the bottom, what grows at the bottom of a pond? Plants. Lots of plants grow on the bottom of a pond because plants use the sunlight for, what do they turn it into? What do plants turn the sunlight into? Yes, nice thinking, food. So plants can grow on the bottom of the pond.
Bubbles down there.
Mhm.
You know how many pizza for lunch?
So in a pond, the animals, insects, and plants, Caden, have to live together. Some animals eat plants, some animals eat animals. Some plants live in the water, some plants live on the shore, on the land. They all live together and they all find food from the pond. Look at this animal. What do you suppose he's looking for? Like what kind? Fish, could be fish. Wait, hold on a second. Livy, what'd you say? Yeah, but not near a pond, not near a pond. He'll be looking for fish. Oh, maybe plants. I know one thing raccoons eat are those green hoppy things we talked about earlier. They'll eat frogs if they can catch them. You guys ever have fried frog legs? No? No. Yes, yes. So that is life in a pond. Pond. You guys helped me read that. Thank you. That was very helpful.